Okay, so the time is 16:04. Hopefully, I'll be done with this by 16:35, as to make sure that I do beat that window of 30 minutes. Okay, so welcome everyone to this tutorial video. This is meant for students and parents of mediators. So if you're not involved with mediators and you don't know what mediator is, um, it's just basically a place where everyone is trying to help kids improve their maths, right? So what do I mean by everyone? I mean that parents, students, well, meaning the peers, as well as educators. So any educator that is out there watching this video, you are more than welcome to lay your input, or you can add to what we're trying to do here. So I am Mr. Sokela, and I'll be going through this, and yeah, here goes the tutorial. So first things first, the things that I just want to point out before we start is that here, please try to set your audio to mono audio so that you can hear me clearly, because I don't know, with most phones, what happens is you'll probably hear my voice on one speaker instead of both. So try to set your audio to mono audio, and for the best immersion, I would prefer you guys using headphones, right? However, if you are watching this on YouTube on a TV, then probably if you got good speakers, you will hear me properly. It won't be an issue. And then additionally, I do have some background sound that I've switched on. I did this because I was advised that some students can focus better on a video by hearing some sort of sound that is repetitive. And here I just have the rain on roof sound in the background playing. And then next, I just want to mention that this is mostly for parents. So this is information that is actually directed to parents in terms of how I'll be teaching their kids, and how they could also be possibly help by ensuring that their kids have all the necessary equipment and such. Okay, so today is the 20th of July. So we're in the 07th month, and the way mediators is going to be conducting their classes is based on a mix. So what do I mean by mix? What I mean is, what I will be doing from now on up until the 31st is just prepping my students to move to an online platform, right? Because the main reason is that I do now have a job which I have to actually attend to from the hours of 7 a.m. up until 3 p.m., right? So 3 p.m. will be my cutoff time, and then thereafter I can then work with my students. Just a little bit of background on the job that I do have. It's a very chill job because I will be teaching junior students, right? So not senior students. So basically, it's going to be foundation phase that I'm going to be working with. So it does give me a lot of time to actually do stuff that are related to mathematics. So I will be continuing with mathematics because I do have a love for it, and the students that I currently have, I really like keeping them as company and working with them. So yeah, with that said, so we're going to be using a blend of online classes and face-to-face from the 20th to the 31st of '07, and thereafter from the 1st of August, I will then be moving on to a non-mix, meaning I'll just be strictly online. Yes, so from my birthday month, my birthday is going to be on the 08th of August. So my birthday month, I'll be just moving online, right? Yeah, I'm turning a big age. Okay, so moving on, what will be happening during our mixed sections with the students? I will be focusing on their homework, meaning um, probably when I explain to the students in class, I did mention that I will be grouping them, right? So I'll try to group them in certain portions so that I can be able to then explain what they have for homework or what math they did in school. So how will that work? Simply put that directly after school, students will then take pictures of their work and then send it to me, and then we can then discuss it on an online platform, or either we will then work face to face, depending on the situation of the day. So that's with homework, and then additionally, what I will have is then the YouTube videos. Well, with the YouTube videos, I will start them a little bit later uh, because I think that I need to sort out how this will work and and make sure that it's a very feasible plan, and then thereafter I can then deploy more YouTube videos also based on their work. Um, Also, I will try to include subjects such as accounting, two mediators, accounting, economics, as well as uh, depending on whether I do have enough physics students, I will include physics, right? But so far, what I will focus on is maths. Um, because I think that math is the key to everything that we do. And yes, okay, so as time goes, so meaning when we do get to the 1st of August, we all gonna move to online, meaning I've prepared my students, they understand how the flow is, and then we can then move all online, meaning all the prompts that were basically here will then apply, and then we will then add a little bit of additional work. What do I mean by additional work? What I've noticed is with most of my students, uh, say that a student doesn't understand some sort of topic. Say, for example, they don't understand, let me rather do this. Say they don't understand, let me pick a different color. Let's pick blue. Say they don't understand the number system, right? If they don't understand the number system, then it becomes very difficult for them to actually explain things when now they have something like roots, right? Because roots are answers to all x values. So if you get an x value, you get a root, and when you get a root, it is explained using your number system. So that means there's some additional work that should be done in order to explain this parts here, right? And how then it will then affect your results when it comes to solve for x, when it comes to your functions and such. So meaning there is more work that should be done with students in that regard, right? Um, with that, I also want to just mention that I will be following the standard South African ATP, right? Which is the annual teaching plan. I know that for some educators they prefer not to follow it. I think it's a very solid plan. It has a very good foundation to it. So I think that my students would really appreciate it if I did just focus mostly on it when it comes to the videos as well. And with that said, when I do post a video, you are more than welcome to refer, right? Refer to that video and say that I didn't understand example 4 of such and such video. so that we can then elaborate better in our sessions. So that's online. More about our online sessions. I just want to point out that as time goes, we're going to go to the platform which is called VOOV. I don't know how to explain it. It is similar to what? I would say it is similar to Zoom. It could be a parent company. I'm not really sure, but I found that the space is quite good, right? However, if I do see that maybe we have issues with it, then we'll move back to WhatsApp, right? That's in August, obviously. And then another thing I just want to point out to the parents is the pricing. The pricing and mediators for our online classes is going to then go on to 200 Rand per month for grade 8s and 9s, and then 250 for grade 10 and 11. The reason why I am dipping the price is because most of the stuff that the kid will require is going to be most of the physical stuff parents will then have to pay for. Remember, when I had my prices increase, it was based on the space that I was using, so the physical space. So I was paying for some space, as well as items such as printers, laminating machines, which I never even got to use, which is kind of sad. Laminating machines and such. So all of that cost will not be there, so that's why the price has been reduced so much. And then additionally, I will not be having any grade 12 students as of 2026. However, depending on whether my grade 11s do stay with me next year, because my plan is always to push my students as as best as possible. Meaning, I'm not trying to hog my students to stay with me. I'm trying to get them to a level where when they reach grade 11 or let's say even grade 10, for some that might be quick on their feet, then they should be quite good at doing things on their own, right? So they'll just be needing touch ups here and there and move on with their work. So I'm not trying to keep students to say, okay, stay with mediators, but I want them to be very functional human beings and be able and capable in performing tasks, meaning being able to actually go through maths without the additional help as you may have it. Okay, and then moving on, I just want to talk about the required equipment. The required equipment for now, I'm just looking for students to have a proper working phone or a tablet. A tablet will be preferable, and if you are planning on using your tablet, um, I do recommend that you have headphones on, right? So, good pair of headphones, the big ones, so that the exterior environmental sounds don't actually impact you. Or get some nice noise cancelling headsets. You don't have to go for anything expensive, but just try to get them proper working headsets. And then another thing is the stand. Why have a place stand there? Because what I'll do is I'll send somewhere or on the group I'll send a picture showing how a student might be sitting, right? You don't want to strain their neck, right? Because you want a student to at least have the same, I would say, eye level as if they were staring directly at a computer. So that sort of thing. So be at eye level with their screen so that they can be able to listen to me and see what's happening on their screen and be able to also write in their books, right? So basically what I'm saying is have some sort of screen, the students facing the screen, and them sitting down and writing things on the table. Instead of having a kid stare down at the screen as well as stare at their book. So if they're doing the downwards motion, it might strain their neck as time goes. So I'm trying to avoid that situation. And then additionally, students should have a proper good table as well as a chair and obviously the books. What I will do is, because I will be using the answer series, I will be recommending I will be recommending the parents to buy books, right? But I wouldn't say that's very important currently, because I will be sending them the same work from the answer series directly to their phones. If a student works better with printing out their worksheets, that I'll then recommend, say that please parents, print these worksheets. And when I do that, I will try to make sure that I ask parents to print them during the weekend, so that we can have a whole week's worth of worksheets to then do, right? And then another thing that I just want to point out is a quiet space. Students do need a quiet space to actually study. Having loud noises and such, or having little kids play around them, it's not the best thing for them, especially because they are now in their zone where they should be able to actually focus on the work that is in front of them. So please, parents, try to have a quiet space. If a student is using the TV room, you're more than welcome to even listen in on the conversation. Try to help them on items or tasks that might be easy for you, and in that way you'll allow yourself and as well as your kid to have that safe space of actually studying and improving the whole family space that way, and have fun with it. Yeah, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And then okay, second to last, I then have my Wi-Fi situation. So with Wi-Fi, what I will be doing is I recommend two types of Wi-Fi. I recommend Telcom, right? It's a capped version. It ends at 7 p.m. So it's uncapped in terms of your data, meaning you can do whatever you want from the hours of 12 o'clock in 12 midnight up until 7 p.m. And then afterwards what happens is it cuts off. So for parents that wish to take that type of Wi-Fi, I will give them some sort of reference to how they can go about getting that one. Or you can also get, I think it's Vuma. I can't spell. Is it Vum? Like this? It's Vuma or something like this, right? So that's also uncapped. So basically, you can get that around, I think it's 460 bucks, 460. But that one is uncapped. There is no time limit to it. So students can do their homework, do videos and such. But for the parents that are a little bit worried of their kids playing around or wasting time on the internet, because I recently downloaded TikTok and I still don't get it. I've watched the TikTok a bunch of times. I just don't get it. It's a lot of, I would say, irrelevant videos. Like, you watch this one, it looks a little bit entertaining, you laugh. The next one, not so funny. And then it just becomes very boring. I just simply don't understand the concept of TikTok and shorts. I don't like shorts. I like to actually have content to what's being done. If you're gonna dance, at least dance for like 3 minutes and such. So rather watch a music video. Okay, so enough about that. So I just want to say that for parents that prefer their kids to actually not be sucked in by the internet, I do recommend the Telcom plan. And then for parents that are okay And for those who actually use the internet, Vuma is actually the best in Dandia. Okay, and then finally here, talking about the current times that we're going to be doing during these 2 weeks that we have. It's going to be uh, what is this, 2:30 to 3:30, which is going to be conducted face to face, and then from 5 p.m. We're going to have an online class, which is an hour, as well as 6 p.m., which is also going to be an hour. I'm trying to split the grades up so that I can do my job a little bit more effectively, right? Especially juniors and seniors. Meaning the juniors, I want to split them up as grade 8s, grade 9s, and then seniors, grade 10 and 11. And those are the just 4 grades that I will be doing throughout the year. And then here, just so that you understand how this timetable will work. So meaning I'll see my grade 10s and 11s face to face. This is Tuesday, so this is gonna be tomorrow's timetable. So this is gonna be Tuesday. I'll see my grade 10s 11 face to face, and then I'll also see my grade 8s at 5 p.m. online on WhatsApp. As you can see, I've written WA there. So WhatsApp, I'll see my grade 8s, and then at 6 p.m. I'll then see my grade 9s, right? Have a call. It's all going to be done on WhatsApp. And then on Wednesday I then have to see my grade 8s and 9s face to face, and then see my grade 10s and 11 online. And then we're going to just simply swap this, right? Meaning on one day I see the grade 10s face to face. Okay, I'll just rather say juniors and seniors. Juniors face to face, and then seniors online, and then I'll swap that. So we're going to swap each day, and then also swap each day. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it makes sense to me. And then I think that's about it for today in terms of the tutorial. If any parent has a question, you're more than welcome to text me. Additionally, if you are watching this on YouTube, because I will be posting most of these videos on YouTube, you are more than welcome to also email me, right? Because I am not going to put my number here, because yeah, that is reserved for students that are enrolled at Mediators. Okay, so that's about it for this video tutorial. Hopefully you guys are watching this either on a tablet or on a TV screen, right? Yeah, please enjoy the rest of your week. I'll then see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Thank you.